What's up, BP Squad, and welcome back to another video. Today, guys, I want to provide you training hacks to help you make faster progress with your kicking height, as opposed to me taking the longer and more strenuous journey when I first got into martial arts. And what I used to always focus on when I first got into it was flexibility training. Now, most of us are told by our martial arts teachers to always stretch. However, I'm here to tell you, just working on flexibility training is not going to get you higher kicks, nor if you want stable high kicks. Incorporating flexibility training is great. It's going to improve your muscle elasticity, circulation, overall athletic performance, as well as your joint health. Working on flexibility is great, but again, if you expect to get higher and more stable kicks, flexibility training is simply not enough. When I first got into martial arts, I was always working on my side and my middle splits. I would spend hours throughout the week just working on flexibility. I'm talking morning and night. I would stretch for at least an hour between both sessions. And yes, they did help out in the long run, but if I knew these training hacks prior to, I would probably focus on these more. For the last couple of years, I stopped focusing so much on flexibility training and switched over to mobility training. Mobility training is very similar to flexibility training, but with mobility training, you're focusing now more on building strength for not only your muscles, but also your connective tissue. And as we know, our joints are primarily composed of connective tissue, and we can strengthen our joints simply by loading them up with weight-bearing exercises, i.e. mobility training. You take an exercise like Cossack squats, you're gonna primarily be working your adductors, your glutes, and your lower back, as well as other accessory muscles. Cossack squats are a really good exercise to build up your lower body and really your connective tissue of your joints. What I like to do with this exercise is to sit really deep in a Cossack squat for like 2 to 3 seconds, and then I switch to the other side. But you don't just switch fast, you switch relatively slow. So maybe a 3 to 4 second tempo. This is a really great way to build strength. You take a simple exercise like what I call line hip internal rotations. What you guys do, take a band, put it around your ankles, take a yoga block or some type of pad, put it between your knees, and you just simply turn your hip in. And think about driving your knee into those pads while lifting your ankle up. Many people don't have good hip internal rotation. So if you want to improve your roundhouse kick, kicking height, and stability, work on hip internal rotation. This type of training approach will elevate your martial art kicking skills. When it comes to kicking specific training, work on hip strengthening exercises like assisting kicking circles, side kick lifts, or just a simple isometric kicking hold. These are the type of exercises that I constantly drill. I rarely implement some type of stretching throughout the week. Now guys, I probably stretch maybe once or twice a week, and I'm talking no more than 15 to 20 minutes. Mobility training has really elevated my martial art skills, and you don't need to incorporate weights as soon as you begin mobility training. You can start off just using your body weight. Just make sure you take the movements nice and slow. But as you get stronger and stronger, that's when you can start implementing more weight. So for instance, when I'm doing an exercise like side kick lifts, I normally warm up just using my body weight. Then I introduce either ankle weights or cables. However, if you're using weights, still go nice and slow. Yeah, it's a bit harder, but it's gonna pay dividends in the long run. You're building strength, and most importantly, you're training to help prevent injury. As we get older, our connective tissue degrades. So how we can really slow this process down? Doing mobility exercises and introducing some type of weight. Your body responds to the SAID principle, which is a fundamental concept that states your body adapts specifically to the demands placed on it. So as you introduce weight into your mobility training, your body's gonna get stronger and stronger, and this is gonna help prevent injury. But you wanna make sure you scale everything accordingly because your joints take a longer time to heal. So make sure you guys train intelligently and safely. But this is how my training program looks like. I train my martial arts stuff 2 to 3 times out of the week. I focus a lot on hip strengthening exercises, my ankles, my adductors. I make sure to take things slow, and I also make sure to train my smaller muscles as well, because everything essentially works as a unit. If you're weak in some areas, that being your smaller muscles, then down the road that may pave the way for injury. So make sure you always train those muscles as well. And you can still incorporate flexibility training. As you guys see on the channel, I'm still releasing those type of videos because flexibility training has its place. It's a great addition to your mobility training, but just prioritize mobility training over flexibility training. Believe me, you guys will progress a whole lot faster compared to what I was doing in my early days of martial arts training. My kicks were still good, but they're just that much better now. And I feel a lot more healthier, and my hips are a lot more stable. That's why it's important to introduce strength training exercises into your training regimen. Also, make sure you guys are working on your core muscles. Everything is tied to the core. So you have to make sure you're strengthening your rectus abdominis, your obliques, your transverse abdominis, quadratus laborum. All of these are tied to your core, as well as your hip flexors. Working on improving your in-range strength. Exercises like off-direction kick lifts, knees over toes, dumbbell low lunge, and other exercises are great for improving your in-range strength. A lot of people don't have the best in-range strength because essentially that's where we're the weakest. Take this exercise like the low lunge. You don't have to do weights right away. You go really low in this position and you're working on your in-range strength and hip extension. So you're gonna be working your hip flexors, part of your quads, and this is a great exercise to build that in-range strength where a lot of us, again, are pretty weak at. Knees over toes. You're strengthening your knees, your quads, your tibialis anterior, your ankles. This exercise is gonna improve your overall lower body strength, but really build up mobility within your ankles. In-range strength training exercises are great to really assess your weaknesses and improve your kicking height. These are the type of exercises that I implement into my training routine. And if you guys have any other questions about how you should train or how you should structure your program, shoot me an email, shoot me a DM through Instagram. I'll respond to you guys accordingly. If you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Most importantly, make sure you are properly subscribed. I'll see you guys next video. Peace and love as always. And nah, shade. Boom. We out, baby.